David again with ROA Off-Road. Here we are finally with a reboot mod. We're going to be rolling out some of these now that we've been getting them and figure out mods for them and kind of get them rolled out. So more will be coming, but this is the first one and we just kind of wanted to show you. So what we're looking at today is actually another Starlink upgrade. Now you might wonder if you've been following this series, hey, you've already kind of touched on this. You did the roof mounted one and you kind of talked about the other options. Well, that's true, and I think they actually just unveiled a mini as well, which is, after looking at it, that is something we can install as well. So again, if you have questions, kind of figuring out like what Starlink is best for you, your service advisor can kind of talk you through that and figure that out for you. But the reason we're doing this video is because we got a lot of questions. Hey, that's great being able to see the physical roof mounted one, but you said the ones you do more often is just the port in the side of the wall, make it easy to plug it right in, put out either your standard dish or your standard actuated dish, plug it in when you get to your campsite, set it up, and you're all set. So we're installing them all the time. So we wanted to go ahead and film this for anyone wondering. Now you can see that modification in physical form on a brand new trailer. So first thing I want to point out is this is the port itself. You may not have noticed it before because of how low profile it is. What I also really like about this mod is the reboots come in white and tan, and if we installed it pretty much anywhere else on the trailer that it fits, it would be sticking out on the white somewhere. For some of you that may not matter, but others, it's just kind of nice having it kind of blend in with your GFCI plug that's already here, your single gang plug, and now you just have a connection point right next to it. So no matter where you go, you got it here. All you have to do is take off the protective covering and then plug your extension cord in when you get to your campsite. So depending on how you want to do it, we recently found that with the Gen 3, while we don't have to splice the wire initially, it will work by just plugging it in. It can be a little bit loose. And so what we can do, if you want that secured mount, like we were doing with the Gen 2, the standard actuated ones, is actually splice on the connection that fits perfectly within this adapter. So that's something new we started doing. Again, talk to your service advisor and we'll figure that out for you. So we worked our way to the inside of the reboot. We're kind of here in the dinette area that butts up against the bathroom wall. There's a few things that go into this install. In theory, it's pretty easy, but there are things we have to look for. One of which is an area that you can tap in for your 110 volt power, because that's what the router needs in order to actually power the router, get the internet, and disperse it throughout your camper. So this was the best place for it, while also minimizing the amount of free space that is used up. Another thing is, here's the port itself. It goes out through the wall, just like we talked about outside, right next to your GFCI outlet. We run the extension here because what we're gonna do is actually install the router and the power supply along this edge here. You can do it on either side of the batteries. However, we thought this would be more central to the middle of the unit, less issues, and give you the greatest amount of range as possible. So another thing I love about this install, this location especially, is there's normally a piece of wood here and it's screwed down. So ideally you never have to come into this compartment. It's just gonna be installed, running all the time. The only reason you would really need to get in here is to, you know, if you're diagnosing something with your batteries, or you're gonna disconnect them if you're, you know, putting in long-term storage, or now, you know, if you wanna check something on the router or diagnose something with that. So it's just 4 Phillips screws. Most people, I mean, it's usually a good idea to have some base tools when you're traveling. So no matter what, you should be able, even if it's just a screwdriver, take the 4 screws out and access this panel. Not a big deal. But again, we're not using up any of your normal storage to do this mod. It's all condensed within this compartment. Another thing to keep in mind is the reboots have a lot of manufacturer options you can actually order your trailer with. So this individual person maxed out their battery bank, and so they have the 4 270 amp hour Battleborn batteries. Now you can option it with less. which obviously frees up your space. So another thing I love about this mod is no matter what your battery bank is, you're not limited to being able to get this installed. The Gen 2 is a little bit different. The router is shaped a little bit differently. We would need to double check some things, but I do believe it would fit here as well. So additionally, we have brackets we started installing for the Gen 3 standard edition routers. And so this is actually going to be for your power supply. That's just going to go in right here. And then this is going to be for the actual router, which is going to go in right there. So once the roamer actually shows up, they have their kit, they'll bring it here and we'll get it kind of set up with them. So here we have your RJ45 extension. This is what runs to your router. So when you do get it inserted in here, you're all set. There's no limitations on kind of figuring out after the fact, even though you're bringing your kit the day of pickup or maybe later. And then once you bring the kit, you'll also have your power supply and your 110 plug, which you can then run back over here to the plug we installed. So this is the Gen 3 standard dish and router kit that we installed on a Reboot. We can do this on just about any other trailer. So since we can do this on just about any unit, I know there's a lot of different Starlink options and it can get kind of confusing. So your service advisor is here to kind of help walk you through those options if you don't have one already. If you do, we'll find a way to make it work for you, find the best spot for it, no matter what trailer you get. But if you're getting a Reboot especially, I think this is the best space-saving and just cosmetically appealing mod that we've done with the Starlink. And so if that's something you're interested in, let us know and we'll get your roamer ready.